Thank you, Element, for sponsoring this video.
See, I finally opened up my eyes, and I saw me coming back to life. That I'd be better without you inside. It's time to be someone I wanna recognize. The future starts right now. I made a reservation, but you never came, so I'm checking out. The fire you stole away, I know one day we'll come back around. The future is now.
Well, I'm back from a walk. I'm glistening, I'm shining. I think I have, there we go. But yeah, I just went for a walk. I would not have been able to make it in this heat, this Texas heat, without bringing electrolytes with me, especially since I'm getting myself back into ketosis. You know, I'm getting my routine started again, and these electrolytes have been clutch. And for those of you that are not familiar with Element, they are a science-backed ratio of electrolytes. So you're getting 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 grams of magnesium in each packet. These are my three favorite flavors. Probably my number one favorite would be the watermelon salt. Citrus salt and raspberry salt is a close second. Also, there's some really fun, crazy flavors. So if you're interested in trying these electrolytes, you can get a free sample pack of 8 unique flavors. This is the best way to give it a test of each flavor so you can find your favorite. And you get this pack free with any purchase. And that promo is only available with me using my special link, but you can use it as many times as you want. I am gonna go get a shower and I'll be back in a few. Okay, so one of the things that I have not tried before with my weight loss journey or during my weight loss journey is meal prepping. If you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I'm a pretty type B person. I don't like planning. I don't like structure. I go with it. I make it up as I go kind of thing, right? Well, with that said, the months or the times that my weight loss and my progress was at its peak or when I did my best were the times that I enforced with myself the self-discipline to plan, prep, like make some type of routine, that kind of thing. So indirectly, through my journey, I've become a little bit better at planning, meal prepping, making sure I make a shopping list, a menu, those types of things. But one thing I didn't do, or I want to say it might be a missed opportunity, was try meal prepping. So let me flip the camera around and show you what I've got going on here. Okay, so I have one of these that I purchased at my grocery store here. It's just a big empty rectangular shaped tray, no dividers. So I have this one, and because I have no idea what my style is, this one has the divider, so like 2/3 and 1/3 kind of thing. These are microwave safe. They can go in the dishwasher, that kind of thing. So I thought that being that it's softball season, I'm trying to lose weight, I'm trying to establish a routine, I've got like the future's mine kind of thing. I've hit that reset button and we're going with it. I thought it would make sense while I have very busy evenings, like my kids are in school from 8 to 3, right? So from 8 to 3, my life is like, that's when I do all my filming for my videos. That's where I get my workouts in. That's when I do the laundry, clean the house, my 8 to 3. I love my kids, but I love my 8 to 3. So, but while I have my 8 to 3, that's the time that makes sense to help get my affairs in order before my kids come home and from school and before all the after school activities start. So I thought, why don't I simplify my evenings? I have time during the day. Weekends are full, so I personally can't do any meal prepping on the weekends. We are softball, birthday party, like everything on the weekends. But during the week from 8 to 3, I do have some spare time. Why am I not trying to do meal prep, right? So with these meal prep things, if I make a recipe, I could double or triple it and pack it away so that when, you know, we have a softball game at 6 o'clock or something and we've got to be there a half hour early, we got to drive there, you know, it would be so much easier to just pull one of those out of the fridge or my freezer, warm it up and go. And make all the mess, the meal prepping, the dicing, the calculation of the macros, all of that, while I have the time from my 8 to 3 chunk of time in my day. So I was like, you know what, let's try it. So I bought a couple things to try, but I don't know. I mean, I looked in the meal prepping aisle at my stores here and there's a lot of options. So I've got no idea. I'm just looking for a way to divide my recipes up evenly and have some good, easy food storage. So if I enjoy this path, we will invest in a nicer set of meal prepping things. You know, like I typically am not a fan of storing food in plastic. I personally like to use glass, you know, just mainly for like the BPAs and stuff like that. So I made sure to find some that were safe and all that. But and I can always upgrade and expand on once I've learned about meal prepping. So, but when you're trying to hit macros, trying to portion stuff out, you're trying to figure this all out, you've got to take that time when you have time to figure that all out. So that's the reason behind the crazy. So, but being that I have 8 to 3, that time frame in my day, I'm gonna make dinner at like 11 o'clock in the morning. Prep it, put it in the fridge, dinner is done, dinner is there. All I have to do is make the effort to take it out of the fridge, warm it up, and eat it. You know, there's no excuse when it's there. And especially knowing that it will help get me to my goals. It's portioned out and, you know, that kind of thing. So all in all, that's the kind of like I'm gonna try it. But so I'm just throwing that out there. If you think meal prepping would help you, comment below. Or if you do meal prepping and it helps you stay on track, comment below. So that is like the goal here, but I will leave you with some recipes next. These are easy, low carb, keto, high protein meals that that kind of like got me the idea in the first place, because these would fit perfectly in what I'm trying to do here. So, but I will give you these 2 recipes that I made for the couple nights this week. So let's get it to that. Alrighty, so the first recipe is gonna be like a chicken and spaghetti. I got these frozen zoodles from Costco. They're already been like spiraled and frozen. So I'm just gonna measure out about 400 grams worth of these zoodles that are frozen, and I'm gonna pop them in the microwave and cook them to about halfway done. You don't want them soggy, but you wanna get some of the moisture out. So just use your trusty scale, measure it out. You could go, you know, more than that, but next thing I'm gonna do is take the can of Rotel, and I'm also gonna drain the liquid out. Working with zoodles, you're gonna get lots of liquid, so you just wanna try and minimize it so you don't have a soupy mess. But in hindsight, you could always just use like some chopped cherry tomatoes or something, you know, and dice up a medium onion and do it pretty small, you know, like small little pieces. I find my kids will eat everything better if I just make it really tiny. So put a tablespoon of butter in your fry pan and let that melt. And then there's like halfway through the zoodles process that have been in the microwave. Then set those aside and drain out any excess liquid. So cook your onion or saute your onion until translucent. You want a little bit of brown on there. Take it out of the pan and add another, you know, tablespoon of butter. Add your diced chicken. It was about 1.5 pounds of diced chicken. This is gonna make 4 servings. Add your salt, pepper, garlic to your chicken and cook it up or saute it up in the butter. And then until it's cooked through. And then next thing, you're gonna drain the liquid that froze the frozen water essentially out of the zoodles, and just you want it to be, you want the little bit of a bite still in those zoodles, but just main thing, get the excess water out. Now your chicken's just about cooked through, and it's time to also remove that from the pan and just leave the chicken juices. Add a cup of cream, and then you're gonna add your spices such as Dijon mustard, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, and then you're gonna mix that together and add your salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning. And then just cook that through until it's like, you wanna reduce it a little bit so it's not such a runny sauce. And mix it around until that's, somewhat reduced in size or in volume. And then all you're gonna do, this is what makes it so easy, is you're gonna put back in your chicken and your onion and also your can of drained Rotel, and stir that around until it is all, rewarming it up, because we're gonna bake this. But mix that well, and then you're gonna add your cheeses. So I did Parmesan cheese, around a 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and in total I did 1 cup of cheddar, but I'm gonna put half in the mixture and then put the remaining half on top. So mix that up until the cheeses are, distributed evenly, and then I'm going to take a 7x9 baking dish, spray it with avocado oil. Oh, I forgot to tell you, add back in your zoodles. Put that back in there and spread it all around so that you're making like a gooey spaghetti, cheesy spaghetti. So once that's all mixed well, remove it from the pan, put it in your baking dish that's been sprayed with avocado oil, preheat your oven, I believe it was 400 degrees, and then spread that out evenly, and we're basically just gonna be like melting the cheese. Oh, I'm sorry, we broiled this recipe. So I broiled this on high. I did not bake this because it's already cooked. We were just browning the cheese essentially. So pop that in the oven, and here is the finished product. This makes 4 servings. It's not a 13x9 pan, by the way. This is a 7x9. And I'm gonna take my little scooper and divide it into 4 even sections. So I'll show you what it looks like, but it's, oh man, so cheesy and so gooey and so delicious. There's the finished product, and I'll just pull it apart with my fork here for you. In hindsight, I would have just used cherry tomatoes, and I would have just diced the zucchini up. But since I'm learning how to meal prep, we went ahead and saved 2 servings. Those can either be lunches future in the week, or those are ready to go dinners that I'm gonna start stockpiling. And let's do the next recipe. So this is another easy recipe. I'm doing steak bites with roasted broccoli. So I'm gonna measure out 1.5 pounds of top sirloin steak. You can use any type of cut, but for this recipe, I'm gonna be adding butter as my fat. So I'm gonna go with a leaner leaner cut of beef. God, I can't talk. So I'm gonna dice that all up in, bite-sized pieces. It's nice and tender, and I'm going to saute that in the pan with a little bit of butter. And then once those have, just cooked, stir them around. You just want to get them nice and tender and ready for the next step. So meanwhile, I'm going to roast my broccoli. I just filled a baking pan with broccoli that I've diced it all up in even pieces. And each one of those scoops is 2 tablespoons. So I roughly do 2 tablespoons per person for the oil. And I'm making for 4, so I did 8 tablespoons of avocado oil. And that's typically my go-to for broccoli. Add salt on your broccoli and a little bit of pepper. And then I find the best way to mix this is to just get in there with your hands. And sorry about the lawn noise in the background. They're mowing the lawn. So mix that around, bake it at 400 degrees for about 25 minutes. And then the steak bites are pretty much done at this point. We're gonna drain the excess liquid out and make our butter sauce. So I just used a little colander in a bowl. And I'm going to add back in 2 tablespoons of butter. And then I'm gonna re-add the drained out steak bites. So while I'm in there, I'm gonna add a little salt. This is where I'm gonna season it. Salt, pepper, garlic powder, and don't forget your Italian seasoning. And if you have something else you like better on there, switch it up. And then We're gonna mix that all around so all the spices are evenly spread out, and then add a big hunk of minced garlic. You could do fresh, but I was in kind of a pinch of time, so I just used the pre-minced garlic from the grocery store. But man, did this smell so good. And here's like a quick pick, a little peek, and there's your roasted broccoli ready to go. And next I'm gonna plate it. So I did broccoli with roasted broccoli and steak bites. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And had I had my meal prep containers, they'd be perfect for this recipe. Alrighty, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget, use my special link, drinkelement.com/keto rewind. That's drinklmnt.com/keto rewind, and order your free sample pack with any order. Thanks, Element, for sponsoring this video, and see everybody else at the next one.
The future is now.